Have you ever left your family for the very first time with a hurricane in its way just because you had a girls' trip planned? So that was me. I left my husband, two kids, two huskies with Hurricane Helene on its way the day before the hurricane hit. Since February of 2024, we've been planning this trip, just me. That was the plan. My husband, he asked for PTO during the day that I was gonna be away. The extracurricular activities, meaning all the music lessons, all the concerts, all the play dates were canceled. Little did I know, the day before my flight, schools are canceled, flights are getting canceled. Orlando International Airport was a mess. Parking lots were full already. Spoiler alert, I made it to the wedding. I was the maid of honor. I had to make it. I had to make it to the wedding and stick to the end because we had an unexpected guest coming into the wedding without invitation. He just walked in. You won't believe what happened. Stick with me and I'll tell you all about it. This was a trip to remember. We all know that we as moms, we need our time for ourselves. We need our me time. We need to recharge that energy. We need to some time to just take care of us, not take care of anyone else. We know that. But tell me in the comments, am I the only one that every time I do something just for me without the kids or my husband, that feel extremely guilty? Like I am the worst mom ever because I'm taking 30 minutes, 1 hour just for me. Tell me in the comments. Am I the only one? Because I felt like the worst mom ever. I was leaving for 5 days. It was already raining a little bit. And here I was saying bye to my family, crying. Why are we like that? We need that. I am back. Nothing happened. Thank God, nothing happened. Nothing huge happened. But it was a great time. It was a time that I needed. It was a time that everyone needed. My kids behaved amazingly with my husband. After all the goodbyes, all the drama, all the tears, all the hugs and all that, I head to the airport. Don't mind my daughter parties back there. If you're a mom, you know that's part of it. I realized I left home with it, and my husband has no porta potty with him. I am excited. I'm not gonna say I'm not, but it's a mix of emotions. I haven't, before I had my daughter, I have a job that I was always on the go. I was always traveling. Then COVID hit, and I had my daughter, and everything that I've done with my kids for the last 4 years, everything. She has never sleep without me. Like she has never sleep separated from me. So tonight is gonna be the first night. I'm a little bit worried because every time at night she screams, "Mommy, mommy, mommy." I really hope she goes to sleep. If she wakes up during the night, I really hope that she just goes back to sleep like nothing happened. One funny thing that I don't know if I've mentioned already. Me included, everyone in the wedding is over 40. How cool is that? And you know what is even better? It's gonna be 1920s, like the Gatsby theme. Everyone went dressed as the 1920s. It was like time travel. Orlando International Airport was already saying that the parking lot that I was supposed to park was already full. I got there. I had to park on Terminal A, which is on the other side of the airport. You know how hot and humid Florida is. And I had to walk and walk and walk. Keep walking. Keep walking and walking and walking and walking. By the time I got to the gate, I was soaking in sweat. I can't believe it. Finally, I'm here at the gate. I'm so tired. TSA done. I'm ready to go take a shower and go to sleep. I guess I'll get a coffee or something while I wait. I think boarding it's at 5:55. What is it? 5? I still have it about an hour. My husband was already sending me pictures of them eating, of the rain and the winds picking up. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Focus on the wedding, focus on the wedding, focus on the wedding. I got to my friend's house very late last night. I was so tired. So the next morning when I woke up and I had that first cup of coffee, it tasted like heaven. I needed that. I needed that fuel. I needed that because we had so much to do in preparation for the wedding on Saturday. It woke me up. I left to check in on the hotel that was staying that night. The house was full of people, so I didn't want to bother because I was just by myself. So I decided to stay in a hotel. And I don't know if you've stayed in the courtyard by Marriott in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. And if you have, let me know. That hotel used to be a hospital. Till I don't see it. I don't feel like it was a hospital. Only one door that I can tell, yeah, that door was there when this building was a hospital. But other than that, look at that. Look at the room. It's very spacious. The bathroom, everything looks really good. It doesn't give you the vibe of a hospital, but I don't know. You tell me, what do you think? Hospital or not? I will stay there again if you ask me. I will. The people that work there was so nice. There's a really nice casino. There's a really nice coffee place there. So the pool looked really, really nice. I didn't enjoy the pool. I didn't have time, but it looked really, really nice. So I will stay there again. But I head back to my friend's house because we had so many things to buy and so many errands to run before Friday, because on Friday it was hands-on to make a lot of things that we had to do. We had to make a very important stop at the Ruta Fria 459. If you don't know about it, whenever you are in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, make sure that you stop by there if you like mojitos. They have all the flavors. And as you can see, the cup is huge. So you only need one. And after those mojitos, I dropped my friend to her house and I headed back to my hotel to rest. The next morning that I woke up, I had to pack up everything because that night was Friday before the wedding, and I was going to stay with her in a different hotel. But I was going to stay with her because it was like the last night, So I had to pack up everything and head out. But before I headed out to my friend's house, I stopped by to have a really good breakfast, even though I was expecting a more typical Puerto Rican breakfast. But the hotel only had a Dennis. So I had a very typical Dennis breakfast with my daughter FaceTiming. For the funny part, sometimes when you have the best intentions, things don't work as well. So I have some time. It was early in the morning. So I'm like, you know what? I am going to go visit at least one beach, sit down, recharge, just soaking the energy of the beach. And my intention was to stay there at least 30 minutes, recharge, read a book, and go on with all the stressful things of the wedding. But I forgot that the streets in Puerto Rico are not good. And I had a small Kia. I don't know what type of Kia, but it was a small car, very, very small car with almost no power. Guys, look at this road. Look at this road. I started driving through that road and it started going like more steep and steep. I got so nervous at one point, but I couldn't turn. At the point that I was like, oh no, I'm turning back, I couldn't turn anymore. There was not enough space. I got out of there. I'm sorry, shaking, but I got out of there. And of course, what do I do? I look for a second beach because, of course, that's what you do when you go through something like that. So I'm like, okay, let me go to the other beach because I'm pretty sure it's not as bad. It was through a golf course. Look, it looks better, right? It looks better until I got to this point. And I was like, oh, no, 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 heck no. I couldn't even see the rest of the road. I turned around and I'm like, well, no beach for me, I guess. No beach, I guess. 200 of these cups of cupcakes. 200 the day before the wedding. After we finished all that, we had to take it to the lady that was in charge of decorating the venue. And after all that, we headed back to the hotel to have some quality time for ourselves, which we needed it. Finally, the wedding day came, and it was an organized chaos. Hair, makeup, everyone was getting ready. The bridesmaids, me, the bride, the photographer came also to take pictures. Everything was there. Everything was so beautiful, but so chaotic at the same time. We woke up at 7 in the morning after going to bed really late. Hairdresser got there, I think it was 8 o'clock. Right after that, the makeup girls, and it was just a thing like bam, bam, bam. I was supposed to look as the 1920s, and I don't know about you, but it was giving me Cleopatra vibes instead of 1920s. And of course, after we were ready, but we had to leave. The car was already there, was waiting for us. It was a beautiful antique car, so we had to leave. We had to go.
You have often heard me sigh when it's time to tell you goodbye. You have asked me why it's so. Never mind, someday you'll know. Someday you'll know.
And the most beautiful thing happened. Like 2 minutes before we got to the venue, rain stopped. Bride was able to leave the car, and the photographer was able to take all the pictures that he wanted. Now, I promise you to show you how a 1920s theme wedding will look like when all the guests, all 150 guests, dressed as the 1920s theme. Look how beautiful it looks.
You have often heard me sigh when it's time to tell you.
Everything was beautiful. The ceremony was beautiful. Then came my speech. And let's be real, guys. Public speaking is not my forte, as you can tell.
Pero si hay algo que yo siempre le decía y hablaba con todo el mundo es que yo siempre he querido que Lulu sea feliz y que encuentre una persona que la haga feliz, porque ella es espectacular.
But after all that, I did what every good Floridian will do. I changed my high heels to flip-flops. We danced and we danced, then we danced the night off. And then the batucada.
Bien, esa será la homenajeada del día de hoy. Oye, prepárese que la fiesta, el party sigue en la sorpresa. Hoy hay de todo un poco, ¿verdad que sí?
But wait, before I show you how great the batucada was, remember I told you that we had an unexpected guest? Do you still want to know who the unexpected guest was? Here he is. We figured let him stay and let him enjoy the night. Who were you thinking, guys? Tell me in the comments. Who were you thinking that was the unexpected guest? Maybe an ex or something like that. I'll leave you a little bit of the batucada. You're gonna love it. Being perfect. We stayed there until 11 o'clock, around 11 o'clock. We couldn't do anymore because we were so tired. So we went back to the hotel. This time I slept by myself, of course, because the bride and groom, they stayed on their own room. And as you know, I was so ready to go back home. I did one last FaceTime with my daughter. And I was off. This trip was nothing less than amazing. All the time that I spent with my best friend, all the laughs, all the dancing. After all, even though I'm not a huge fan of big weddings, I loved it. And if that's what you have in your mind, do it. Have that big wedding or have that small wedding and go on a trip. Do whatever you want. Have that 1920s, 1950s, 1970s wedding. And if you are the maid of honor of your friend, it doesn't matter how many hiccups you have along the way, you make sure you made it. You make it. You make it to your best friend wedding. Doesn't matter. You make it because she needs you more than you could ever think. And you need her too. Mama, if you are on the fence of having some time for you, just take it. We need it. We need it. You're gonna let's make a commitment, not you and me, and to every time we have those guilty thoughts that we are the worst mom ever because we're doing something without our kids. I'll give you permission right now to ignore those thoughts and do whatever you want. I give you permission. Do it. Let me know. And if you're in Florida, hit me up. I'll take that. I'll drink that coffee with you, or I drink that glass of wine with you. So if you stick with me until now, I appreciate you a lot. Thank you so much. If you can do me a favor and you can like this video, and if you liked it, consider subscribing. Next week, I'm going to share all about a huge decision that we made as a family recently that is going to change how we spend time together. I am so excited to share all that with you. But if you want to make sure that you don't miss that video, hit the subscribe button so you can get a notification. I'll see you next week. Thank you.